This episode is sponsored by the Farm Drinkery. Best dive bar in the corner of a strip center on Champions Forest Drive in Louetta in Spring, Texas. 22 local beers on tap and world-famous wings. Come for the great atmosphere, stay for the free high fives. Use the code BeerNerd20 to get 20% off your bill.
I want to know what you're thinking.
So, ready?
There
Let's do it.
Some things you can't hide. I want to know what you're feeling. Tell me what's on your mind.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Front Row Negative, the podcast. We are back again, and apparently somebody is teleporting down to this podcast as we're starting it up. I am your host, Aaron. I am joined by...
Your friendly neighborhood old Saint Prick.
That was a very long-winded introduction on your part. You sound tired. Are you drinking your coffee?
I'm drinking my coffee always. Look, see, over here.
Okay, that's a nice mug. That's a nice.
Thank you. I got it from Disney World. Cost me $1,000.
I have this right here. I have my Pizza Planet spaceship drink thing. So
Nice.
tonight we are joined by a guest. If you're part of the Cross the Streams Media family or have heard of us, then you probably have heard of the Toy Rewind podcast. We have the guest from that show on Earth that's coming on today to talk toys and talk everything else. We have Michael. How you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How you guys?
We are doing pretty good ourselves. We're doing pretty good ourselves. So
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah. So I see the Rangers hat. You're wearing a Texas Rangers hat. I'm glad that we have finally a guest that's local somewhat to us in Texas.
Yeah.
Because our last few guests have either been in Florida or have been all over the country, and it's good to have someone back from the state.
Yeah, I'm just a couple hours, I guess right at 2 hours southeast of Dallas area, so the DFW area.
Oh, so that's not too far from us. That's not too.
I'm just
a few hours
south of Tyler, if you know where Tyler's at.
Yeah, I know.
South of Tyler.
I used to make an yearly trip to Dallas to the DFW airport for Texas Frightmare, and it was always fun. We'd stop at the Centerville Buc-ee's on the way up, and it was always a fun trip. But I know the area where you're at, not exactly the area where you're at, and it's good. It's good to have somebody local on.
Yeah.
Again.
Yes, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, so thanks for joining us. Thank you for being a part.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.
So basically our very first segment, which we haven't done in a while, we used to have segments, or actually one segment that we haven't done in a while. It's what are you watching, what are you playing, what are you reading, or what are you listening to? Mm-hmm. Basically just things that you've checked out during the week or in the last few days or so that we kind of just jump into that kind of directs our podcast episode.
Yeah. And
since you're the guest, Michael, so what have you been doing? Like, what have you been watching, reading, playing, or listening to?
I've been watching. We went and saw Ghostbusters.
Okay.
So we saw that at Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
Really enjoyed that. I was really excited to see it, and it was really, really, really good to my opinion. I really liked it. So I've watched just today. We watched Hawkeye.
Okay.
So we got the first 2 episodes of that under our belt. I really liked it. I think in the scheme of things on those Disney Plus Marvel shows, I'm gonna put it just right under Loki in my ranking.
Oh, really?
I enjoyed it. Loki, I liked Loki a little bit better, but I think it's gonna be a pretty fun show.
So what is your ranking so far for the shows? Because we've had Loki, WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, What If, and now Hawkeye. And so what's your top?
Loki and then Hawkeye. I liked WandaVision, but I think I know I'm a little different than a lot of other people, but I like that the Winter Soldier Captain America. Yeah, that one. That one next, and then WandaVision, and then I liked. It's kind of tough because of the What If is just different.
Yeah,
because they had the whole storylines that were a little bit different. But I enjoyed that, but I think I liked the live action ones a little bit better.
Okay.
I did. Yeah.
Okay. That's that. Fair enough. Fair enough. Anything else?
Let's see. Let's see. I've been trying to catch up on some of the. I'm a big Superman fan, so DC fan. The Arrowverse shows. I've been trying to catch up on those. I'm a little bit behind on a few weeks behind on some of those shows.
Okay.
Got a couple more episodes of Supergirl left to watch, and I'll be finished with that. The Stargirl's kind of interesting with Eclipso in it.
Okay.
So he's kind of piques my interest in that. And then just getting the Legends of Tomorrow. That's kind of a wacky show anyway. So
yeah.
And reading, I am actually started. And me and my wife did this about a year or so ago. We started reading the Star Wars Legends book.
Okay.
And there's in the timeline. I've got a whole timeline of when they were chronological order and stuff. So
yeah,
I'm almost up to the episode 1 books. I'm at was it Shadowhunter? Darth Maul Shadowhunter is the one I'm right in the middle of right now. So that's what I'm reading.
Wow.
Then playing like video games and stuff. I don't have much time. I'm kind of stuck in the middle of Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword. I'm a huge Zelda fan. Me and both my brothers are. And that's where I'm stuck at the past year and a half. I keep trying over and over, and I just don't have time to play it. As busy as I've been at work with my work and stuff. So it's been kind of crazy with everything going on the past year and a half for me. So but that's kind of where I'm at on that.
That's going right. That way, hey, that's a heavy plate of just entertainment right there.
Yeah.
It's a heavy plate of entertainment. So we're gonna pass that question off to Chris. What you been doing?
I have actually have been getting a little bit of reading in, if you can believe that. I picked up The Boys Volume 1 trade paperback because I know I'm way behind, obviously, but before I watched the series, I wanted to read the source material. I wanted to see, because they always say the book is better, and the first far the first issue's been intense, man. I don't think people.
That first trade, it's pretty good.
God, man, it's insane. Like, for those, I mean, it's people getting their arms ripped off. Gratuitous violence and sex. It is a thing. I didn't want to believe it until I saw it with my own 2 eyes, but it's intense, man. But yeah, I was watching that or reading that. I don't know if I'm still here or not. Hopefully I didn't get booted off.
No, you're still here. We still see you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because all the little screens went black on the thing. Anyway, as I always do, I play Disney Emoji Blitz way too much. I finally got a level 200 and got my fairy godmother.
Oh, nice.
I unlocked fairy godmother, so I'm very proud of myself. I'm a 40-year-old man who enjoys puzzle games on his phone. Admittedly.
That's cool. So. Hey, I can't complain because I do play that Funko Pop puzzle game, and right now I'm grinding to get a He-Man on top of Battle Cat as the exclusive this week.
That's dope.
I'm grinding to get that one. So
can't blame you there, man.
I know the feeling for going for those goals.
Oh hell yeah! So that's been fun. But I mean, and watching all the things, man. You mentioned Hawkeye. Michael mentioned Hawkeye. You mentioned Ghostbusters. I mean, and I'm assuming we're going to touch on that because
yes, we are.
I know the all women review got mixed reviews. From our gatekeepers of the Ghostbuster fandom. From certain people. From certain people. Yeah. But hey, man, whatever. Like, if it's not for you, it's not for you. Calm your tits. This new one though is very much so in the heart of
Yeah,
originals. Like it has the charm of everything you loved about the original films.
Yeah,
and
it
so
does.
I want to go see it again. And that's not. I don't really get to say that anymore, man. I don't get to say that I want to go see something in the theater more than once. Spider-Man will definitely be on that docket for
Oh
sure.
yeah, definitely Spider-Man.
But Ghostbusters definitely on there. I want to take my nephew to go see it because he loves the Ghostbusters. And yeah, I'm catching up, man. Hawkeye was cool. I ruined some things for my wife by knowing too much about the characters before she could even get introduced to them. Like, oh, that's so and so. Oh, that's so and so. She's like, God damn it! I said, sorry, it's part of my job. I have to know these characters.
That is true. That is true. You are a former manager of a local comic shop here in Houston that shall not be named. Still, we'll keep the mystery alive. We'll keep
exactly.
the kayfabe alive. We'll keep the kayfabe alive.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's I've been knowing him for years, and you got to be knowledgeable. I mean, you can't just you can't be a bag boy at Kroger and also work in the comics industry and have the same fount of knowledge and expect to to be of any use. If you're not asking paper or plastic, you know what I mean. So
that is true. Is that it for you?
Yeah, man, that's it. Really, I mean,
That's
you mentioned. I don't know if you mentioned it on the pregame or not, but you asked about Chucky. I haven't had a chance to see any episodes of that yet. I haven't had a chance to watch that.
It's good. Yeah, it's Chucky is an underrated show. I don't think people expected it to be good because of its connection to Sci-Fi Channel, but it's so well done. It's well written. But you have to watch all the movies to understand where it's going, except for the remake. You have to watch all the movies to understand where it's going. So it's smart in writing, but you do need to watch the movies.
Which I think I'm behind on. I think I missed the Cult Chucky.
There's Cult and Curse are the last two.
Oh, I haven't seen either one of those yet.
You might want to watch those before you jump into Chucky, but it's definitely worth the watch. It's
those are on Shudder, aren't they? Or aren't they on some streaming service?
I think they're all mixed around. I think the first one might be on Peacock, and then the rest might be on Shudder. I would have to check.
Okay.
But since if you're done with your segment, I'll jump into mine. I've been on vacation this week, and so I've been able to catch up on a lot of stuff. Finally.
Nice.
I've watched the first season of the show Heels with Stephen Amell, the wrestling show.
How is that, man?
It is good. I was not expecting it to be as good as it was. I was expecting it to have like the same kind of drama and kind of parameters as Arrow, because Arrow's is WB.
Yeah, sure.
This thing went full force. This thing is out there. You have Stephen Amell as the main character. I don't know if you've ever seen the TV show True Blood, but Andy Belfour, who played the sheriff in True Blood, is in this show as a retired, out of work. Pretty much, he's like the wrestler that retired but still is trying to live his life here and there.
Okay.
And I'm realizing it now, Michael. I'm sorry that we're talking wrestling.
No, that's fine.
But it's a good show. I watched all 8 episodes. It is great. Definitely recommend checking out.
I seen previews of it, and it looked pretty good. I like Stephen Amell too. So
it's good. Yeah, it's worth watching.
It may be something I might watch. Yeah,
it's not all about wrestling with that show, but that's the main point of it. But there's like a bunch of like sabotages and feuds and drama well written in. Not for kids. And if you're in the Texas area, there is a lot of local indie talent that makes cameos in the show, in the background and stuff.
Yeah,
so
awesome.
I mean, also Big Luke Gallows from the Good Brothers is in there too. He makes a cameo.
I heard that, man. I heard he was in there.
So good show. I watched that. We started watching Yellowstone last night, checking that out. That's off to a good start. I'm kind of hooked on that. From our last guest, Rob told us to check out Yellowstone, and I'm doing it, and I'm enjoying it so far. So
Nice.
Watch that. I watched Ghostbusters Afterlife, loved it, but we'll get into that later as we kind of talk about it. I watched the first 2 episodes of Hawkeye, just like y'all did. Great show, really liking it. I don't remember anything from the trade from his miniseries that this is about, but I want to go back and reread it.
Same.
I want to go check it out. I watched this one movie last night called 8-Bit Christmas, and it is good. It is like a Christmas story for people who grew up in the 80s. That is
really?
It's pretty much a Christmas story for kids who grew up in the 80s.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. That I was talking about it during our Thanksgiving feast, and it came up. Me and my wife probably gonna sit down and watch it probably this weekend or something.
You will laugh.
Pretty funny.
You'll laugh your ass off. You will laugh your ass off. It is so good. I just expected it to be like kind of slapstick stupid, but the jokes and the stuff that happens is so well done. Good. Some of these stuff, a lot of stuff recently just has good writing, and they have good actors, good cast, good writing. This one is just so fun. And if you've seen, if you ever watched the old movie The Wizard with the kid who plays Nintendo, they take some cues from that movie, and they make little Easter eggs or little nods to that movie in this movie. So it's just fun. It's just like straight up just a fun movie.
I was curious if it had that kind of stuff in it, because me being a child of the 80s, of course I love The Wizard. Yeah, so I was wondering if it had that influence.
If you like The Wizard, if you like the Christmas story, you're gonna love this movie. It's just so well done. It's so good. And then Neil Patrick Harris is in it too. So, and he's been on fire lately.
Yeah.
That's pretty much almost all the TV I've watched that I've checked out. For reading, last month I got a whole bunch of books in the mail, and I just started reading them now because I'm on vacation. And I got one book called Halloween Night, another one Halloween 2 and its sequel, and then a third book called just Trick or Treats. I'm almost done with the first book, and I'm about to start the sequel. So that's how far I've gotten with that. For gaming, I play the Funko mobile game. It's fun. But I've been playing a little bit of Halo Infinite on Xbox with the multiplayer. And I've been playing some World War Z, because that's part of Game Pass now. Mm-hmm. And that game's a lot of fun.
I heard that one was pretty fun, yeah.
Yeah, World War Z is like The Division, but with a zombie skin over it. And like Left 4 Dead. Because you do the little short missions. Just a lot of fun. I didn't expect World War Z to be as much fun as it is. And to be honest, it's a lot better than Back 4 Blood, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But for playability, World War Z is just a little bit funner. It's just something different about it. It's just fun. Yeah. So, and that's kind of where I'm at with my vacation. Just watching TV, doing some reading. And if you're someone like Clay, like our wrestling correspondent on other episodes, I'm doing design work for him. He wants shirt designs and other stuff. So that's how my vacation's been going. But jumping from that, let's jump into some Ghostbusters, because I know we want to talk about that.
Oh, man.
Stop right there, yeah. The following content does contain spoilers, yeah. You must listen at your own disregard before continuing on with the following podcast, yeah. Thank you.
30 years later, we're getting a sequel. And let's start off. What did y'all think about it? Michael, what do you think about it?
I loved it. Talking about it being a sequel, it's a true sequel. I mean, it brings in all the aspects of what's happened, 30 years later, and with the grandkids not knowing who their grandfather was at first and figuring it out, and their personalities match them, like the little girl, her personality matches her grandfather's personality, and
her look as well too.
Looks just like him, and no, she doesn't know anything about him, and just to have that without that knowledge, then finding out who he really is, and it was really cool. My wife looked at me towards the end of the movie, and she says, Ghostbusters isn't supposed to make you cry. And I said, yeah, it's not, but it kind of tugs at the heart right there.
Oh man.
But
it did.
Yeah, it was a true and I said this on our podcast, our last one. Me and John Andrew were talking about that, and I said Andrew hadn't seen it yet, so we couldn't really spoil anything, but I said they kind of left it open maybe for another show, another movie, but They can end it right where it's at.
Yeah.
And it's just a perfect ending is what I'm looking at.
That is true. So did you stay till the after credits, like the very end after all the credits run up? So you saw that scene?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Good. I had some family recently who saw Ghostbusters, and they said they saw the after credit scene. I was like, oh, did you see the after credits, the one at the very end? And she was like, wait, there was another one? Like, yes, there was.
Yeah.
She was like, oh no, I had left after the first one. I left. I'm like,
I thought it was pretty cool. They had that scene that was cut out of the original movie. That's what they plugged in, and
they did.
It was pretty cool. Yeah,
they did. And I had to tell this person, say, hey, I mean, you've had 15 years of Marvel movies. You know better than to leave. And say, come on now, you know better than this. You don't trust nothing anymore.
No,
you don't trust anything.
You wait till the last credit until the commercials come back on for the next movie. Then you walk out.
You wait till that blue screen that says "end reel." That's what you wait for. That's what you wait for. Yeah.
That 18-year-old kid with the dustpans looking at you like, "Get out of here, asshole!" You're like, "All right, I'm going."
It's that pimple-faced team from The Simpsons. Excuse me, sir. Movie's over.
Yeah, movie's been over for 35 minutes.
Credits after credits.
Yeah.
So Chris, what did you think?
Man, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I literally felt like I mean, spiritual successor. It was the third movie. I mean, you can't. I mean, now obviously, it's a shame that I mean, are we going to talk vaguely about this, or can we just talk?
No. You know what? As we're recording, I put a note. I'm going to record like a spoiler warning type audio thing that I'm just going to have Dwayne slip in.
Okay.
That way we can just go straight ahead. So.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a shame that Harold Ramis wasn't around to, actually partake in this movie, but what a beautiful time we're living in technology, that we can see the things we see where you're bringing someone back to life, essentially.
Yeah.
As a ghost, obviously. Because I honestly, given the first part of the movie, I was thinking to myself, okay, I don't need to see him to know who he is. I'm not an idiot. You know what I mean? So I was okay with it. I'm like, I've gone on record as saying, give me some credit as a fan. Like, I don't need to have my hand held through the whole entire thing. So I was okay with that.
Yeah.
But the reveal at the end was perfect. You couldn't have done it better if you wanted to. And honestly, he didn't need to say anything. His character didn't need to talk. His face, the way they animated and manipulated the facial expressions, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
and the kids, I think Finn Wolfhard is the best Finn Wolfhard that's ever Finn Wolfharded in any movie. That kid can play himself perfectly. Not, and that's not disparaging him. It's just he's an awkward, lanky teenage kid. He's just he does Finn Wolfhard very well.
Yeah.
The little girl who played the granddaughter,
Phoebe,
and the girl who played Phoebe, man, just blew me away. What a charming kid. Every time she came on screen, I noticed I was smirking because she was just so awkward and funny. And we've all been there. Like, granted, I don't know if we were all geniuses when we were 13 years old or whatever, but
no, I'll know about that.
No,
in my case, no. In my case, nah.
Yeah, but man, she just every time she was on screen, she stole the scene.
She did.
And I feel like she's going to be like the next 11 or whatever. I feel like you're going to see a bunch of her in the next few years.
Yeah,
popping up on everything, which is fine. I mean, talent's talent; it should be rewarded. Yeah. Paul Rudd is a vampire. That man does not age.
He doesn't.
They don't have to digitally enhance him at all, dude. He's just he's like The Rock in Jungle Cruise. Like, he just
yeah,
he's been on this earth doing the same thing over and over again for 500 years. So good. Literally, even I actually literally had no problem with it being the revisiting Zool and the Vince Clortho and all that stuff. Like, I had no problem with any of that. I was like, okay, great.
Yeah,
we don't need any new ghosts here. We don't need. Of course, her dad. Of course, Egon, the smartest fucking guy in the whole entire group, was paying all the attention and realized like this is a bigger problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was great that it took place in the Midwest. I mean, it was just, you took everything Ghostbusters, you put it in a cornfield, and it worked somehow.
Yeah. It definitely did.
So good.
I do like the fact that Finn went from imitating a Ghostbusters and Stranger Things to actually becoming a Ghostbuster officially in the movie. I thought that was pretty cool.
I contemplated selling my Ghostbuster kids from the movie, from Stranger Things, the Pops. I contemplated selling them online just to strike while the iron was hot, but I was like, I'll hold on to them.
Hold on to them. Definitely hold on to them.
Yeah.
Myself, I loved it. I'm one of the few that have loved all the Ghostbuster movies. I'm not afraid to say that. I was a fan of the 2016 one. I think with that one, it was great to watch that one with my daughter because she got it. It was a movie made for her. She got it.
Exactly.
And she enjoyed it. But for this one, this felt like a really good direct sequel to the others.
Yes.
And it felt like a good continuation. One thing I've read online, I've seen a lot of people, saying, "Oh, how come they used the same ghost? How come they did this?" If you watch the first movie, they technically never beat Gozer. They never beat that demon. They just stopped it. They just stopped it. They never captured it. They just stopped it. So for it to come back and for Egon to be the one to pretty much track it down to its source and to try to take it out for good, that makes sense. I think that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, this is a direct continuation from the first one. We got to see more powers of Gozer and the whole Zool thing and everything, and we got to see Evo finally see him. So I just thought it was a really good, well done story that kind of wrapped everything up. And then, like Michael said, the ending is left open for continuation. You definitely have the cast. You have the cast now to carry it on. It could work, or it could just stop here. But either way, it was a fun ride. One thing for me that kind of made me, that got my attention, and this was even when the trailers came out, was that the Ecto one had the gunner seat, because if he had the toy car, that was a feature in the toy car.
Yeah,
from from the animated series.
I was giddy about that, man. That was so cool.
I loved it. I was like, oh man, that's so cool. And then the ghost with the eyeball, the big eyeball, that was a toy.
That was a toy, and there was a couple of ghosts in there that were toys from the toy line that you saw. Yeah,
I was waiting for the flushing one.
The toilet
one.
The toilet one, yeah.
I think everybody was waiting for that one. I was hoping for the one. I had the one toy that had the little sneakers, and you pulled the rip cord, and sparks came out of his mouth, and he would run across the floor. I had that one.
Where's the football player? Oh God!
Yeah.
Give me the Hunchback. Give me Wolfman. I want all of it.
He won all of them.
Yes.
But it was just so well. To me, it was so well done. I thought it was a great movie. It definitely followed in the spirit, pun intended, of the previous movies, and it was just it wrapped things up. It really wrapped things up.
It had the whole feel of the first two movies. The feel of it,
Definitely.
If you go to 2016 when they remade it, it was. I enjoyed watching it. It definitely wasn't the same feel as the first original two.
Definitely wasn't. Yeah, it definitely
was
wasn't.
more kind of. They went more comedy.
Yeah.
Than they did with the Ghostbusters was a little more serious with some humor in it.
Yeah.
And this is this was to me it felt the same as the original one did too. Yeah.
I'll say with the 2016 one, I loved Chris Hemsworth's role as Kevin.
Yeah.
He was hilarious. He was so damn funny.
Too, man.
Yeah.
He's like sandwich, and he just catches something off screen. That was awesome. That was so great.
With the toy talk that's going to be anchoring this episode, man, I can't help but I have to ask, because it really bothered me after I walked out of the theater, because not right after we walked out of the theater, but I think the next day or two I was at the store and I was looking around and I found some of the, we had been seeing them on the shelf forever, the new toys, and you're like, oh man, old man Vinkman, and all this stuff, but Phoebe, did they release a Phoebe figure? Or, I don't remember seeing it.
Okay, here's the thing with that. That's why in our group chat, our toy chat, where I asked the question, has everybody seen Ghostbusters? Here's why. Phoebe is a 2-pack. Phoebe comes with Grandpa.
Is that her first time?
Okay.
That's her first one.
That's her first figure?
That's her first figure.
That bothers me, man.
She comes with the Ghost Egon. It's a 2-pack.
Yeah.
And because
spoilers,
okay,
so like, is it con exclusive or something?
No, it's going to hit shelves next week.
Oh, okay.
Hitting shelves December 7th is what the toy report said. But Ghostbusters Afterlife, the toys and merch, they did something that no other movie has really done before. They're releasing the spoiler after the movie. They're releasing the toy spoiler after the movie. Yeah. I mean, if
that usually comes out before the movie even comes out, and you're all okay. You know what's going on. Yeah.
You know what's going to happen. I mean, Batman the animated movie, the Batman Mask of the Phantasm. Phantasm was released before the movie, like a month before the movie.
Yeah.
Mechagodzilla for Godzilla versus King Kong was released a week before. Was released a few weeks before the movie. Mm-hmm. This, as far as I can tell, is one of the few times where the spoiler is being released after the movie has come out.
Yeah,
and that's a rare thing.
Mm-hmm. Fair play on them. Fair play. So I didn't think about it that way.
So if you're looking for Phoebe, there's a reason why you can't find her yet. She comes with the spoiler with Ghost Egon. So it happens.
It kind of makes me want to buy them all now.
It kind of makes you want to buy them all. So
I was looking at the box office, man. I'm sorry. I just want to point out that, given COVID numbers, that it says their budget was $75 million, and according to the Wikipedia page, it's at 79.3. So I mean, all things considered, that's technically a win. I mean, I don't know if I don't know if that's accounting for marketing or anything, but
here's what's going to happen. When they release this for Steelbook and Blu-ray and DVD, it's going to sell.
Yeah.
People are going to buy the Steelbook. Steelbooks are going to sell. So
I'll definitely pick mine up. Yeah.
Yeah. Same here. I'm going to pick up my Steelbook of Ghostbusters Afterlife to go on the wall behind me with all the other 15,000 DVDs I have and movies I have. And I'll have the Steelbook because I am a bait and switch for Steelbooks. And they'll get my money. They'll get my money twice. Snob. I am a Steelbook snob. I'm no lie. No lie there, sir. But talking Ghostbusters, I mean, we've probably all grew up on the cartoons and the movies and everything. Do each of us have like a favorite Ghostbuster toy that we had back then?
What about you, Michael? What's the one that immediately pops in your head that comes to mind?
We had, I say we because me and my brothers, we shared a lot of our toys together. I was pretty much made by my mom to share. To share. So, we talked about this. We had our episode 13 of our podcast was Ghostbusters, the real Ghostbusters. Yeah. And we talked about this. And we had Egon and Venkman and Spangler. I don't know if I actually had a favorite out of all those. I liked all of them. I don't remember if we didn't have an Ecto 1 from the original line, but I do. I guess Egon was my favorite out of all of them that we had. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think with your parents had the same lesson learned my parents had after Masters of the Universe. Like, we ain't buying damn vehicles. Bullshit. These toys are already $3.97. We're not made of money.
So I'm a diecast collector, if you see behind me here, but I had tons of Hot Wheels and stuff, so they really didn't need to buy us vehicles because I had plenty of that stuff. But but as far as the figures, we did have the figures, but just not the vehicles. So
oh man, I never was a kid that really got into Hot Wheels, but like I definitely was spoiled in the way of all things figures. But no, I totally had a bunch of the figures. My mom and dad, they spoiled me. I was, for 4 years of my life, I was an only child. So, I got a lot of cool shit. But like, I think my favorite Ghostbusters toy was Egon, and in particular, my favorite Egon was it the one where they were in the like the space looking suits?
Wait, the dark blue? The dark blue ones, or
it wasn't? No, he was wearing white with red trim. This Egon in particular, and he squeezed his legs and his head, like his mouth got.
The screaming scares, the
screaming one, yeah,
the screaming one.
That was my favorite Egon figure. That was my favorite figure. I had them all, had all the Ghostbusters. I think I had Janine. I mean, are you kidding? Yeah. Now, did they make a Rick Moranis' figure?
Of Tully?
Tully?
Is it Tully?
Tully?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't think they did. No,
I don't
I don't think I ever had that as a
Uh-uh.
kid. But to point it out, like, you know, when you buy a figure now that you pay $50 for, that's made by NECA or some other bullshit, and it's got 8,423 points of articulation. It is awesome, and I love it. But you can't beat was it 2 arms, 2 legs, and head, the 5-point articulation Ghostbuster figures.
Yeah.
That ruled ass, man. They ruled ass.
Well, I mean, with the current NECA line, you have regular Ghostbusters across the board, all 4 of them. Then you have the Stay Puft covered Ghostbusters across the board. Then they're going to release the slime covered Ghostbusters, and then they're going to do the animated series Ghostbusters. So that's 4 sets of 4 just for the basic Ghostbusters. That's not including, you know, Dana and Zool Dana and Tully and Keymaster Tully and all the different variations, and then the 2 Gozer dogs, and then Zool and all the other ones. So
and you can't overstate this. These are not toys for 12-year-olds nowadays. They're for 40-year-old grown-ass men that with what we would call disposable income.
And you know that the toy line from the 80s, the reason why it probably didn't have Tully was because it was the cartoon versions of them.
Yeah.
It wasn't the movie versions. So
that is true.
Yeah,
okay.
that's why there wasn't one. Yeah.
That is true.
Now,
But,
side note, one thing I learned recently reading up on it, because I looked up all the figures and stuff. I didn't realize this until I saw it, but apparently the Ghostbusters firehouse.
Yes.
They used it in that movie Witches.
They did?
I didn't know that.
You know that little boy that was with Angelica Houston as the lead witch or whatever?
Yeah. Oh, at the end, whenever
the little house he was in. He was in the Ghostbuster house.
Oh, okay. I need to watch the movie.
His grandma his grandma posted him up in the Ghostbuster house.
Yeah, okay. I need to watch it again.
Yeah.
But I'll say, growing up, I had a few Ghostbuster toys. I didn't have all 4 Ghostbusters, but I had Screaming Ray. So, and he had the little headgear on, so when you squeeze his legs, his head popped up and he was screaming.
Yeah.
But my favorite was I had Slimer, where he had like the pizza that had the bite marks taken out of it. And I think he had like a turkey leg that had or a steak or something that had like the bite marks taken out of it. But I took that Slimer everywhere for a while. I had Slimer. What I wanted was Stay Puft. I wanted the Stay Puft doll.
Yeah.
Never got one. I got Slimer instead. So it's like, hey, one's $4.99, one's $5.99. Nah, he likes green. Let's give him Slimer.
Let's go with
seriously. It's more colorful and it's cheaper.
It's colorful.
Yeah.
And look, he likes pizza.
Didn't was Ray wearing a helmet, or was it his hair itself that popped up?
No, he was wearing the goggles, the night vision goggles.
Okay, whose hair went up? Was that Venkman? Whose hair?
That might have been Venkman's. That might have been Venkman's.
I think so.
That might have been him. They might have been him or Egon, because Egon had that S curl, that Superman S curl going. So that might have been one of them too.
Yeah, with the advent of 3D printers and the way figures are done nowadays, I mean, in all seriousness, like we're talking about 5-point articulation figures. You could design your own. I have a 3D printer, Aaron. So, let's talk one day about let's see if we can figure out how to make our own figures. I'd love to have a 5-point articulation 2-pack of Chris and Aaron FRN figures.
We'll get there eventually. Hey,
Sully
just got his figure made. Pascal Sully from Funko and from Nerdfoo and I can't think of any of his other podcasts. He just got his own vinyl figure done.
Really, like a Funko style?
Well, vinyl style.
It's kind of soda looking.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of a soda looking.
But
cool.
It has the orange cowboy hat. So he's got it. He's got one, like, check off the list of bucket.
That's dope.
So
it's Whataburger orange hat. Yeah.
He's got one.
That, man.
he has got a figure made, so we'll get there eventually. We'll definitely get there eventually.
One more side note on Ghostbusters figures I have to point out. Diamond Select, the company, like, most comic shops have their figures or whatnot.
Yeah.
Like a handful of years ago, they came out with the Ghostbusters figures based off of the real Ghostbusters cartoon in the Diamond Select scale.
I remember that.
Have you seen how much those go for now?
I'm scared to, because I just dropped money on something else that I really wish I hadn't.
Dude, they the last comic shop I worked at, we had a loose Egon from that set. Loose complete was $300.
Wow.
Now, yeah, I mean they are expensive, and they are a grown man's hobby. So that's something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean the toys for Ghostbusters that they're a lot of fun. I remember they were a lot of fun growing up.
Yes.
And for a quick plug, if you want to hear all about those toys, you can check out Toy Reruns podcast where they talk Ghostbusters. Where they talk the real Ghostbusters, because they also have an episode dedicated to the other Ghostbusters, the one with the gorilla.
The fake Ghostbusters, which was actually the original one. The original Ghostbusters. Yeah.
Which is funny because I listened to the episode and I'm like, yeah, I remember that cartoon. And a quick, 2 clicks later, by doing a Google search, I find the DVD of the first volume of the cartoon, which I'm holding right now in my hand. And I bought the DVD of it's like the first few episodes.
I might have to borrow that from you.
I found that.
I saw your post on it. I said, yeah, we just did an episode. He goes, yeah, that's why I bought it.
That's why I bought it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was it was like $5 off Amazon. So I'm like, okay, sure, $5 plus free shipping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No kidding, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. Definitely gonna grab that deal.
Oh,
but moving over from that, we watched Hawkeye. Let's talk a little bit about some Hawkeye here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Marvel shows have been great. I think that they've been paced for their own content. And I think that we've gotten to an area where each show is a different genre that kind of follows the comic, where you have, if you want your crime and thriller, you have this show. If you want your supernatural, you have this show. If you want your anthology, you've got this show. Mm-hmm. And I think that the Marvel series, the shows have been diverse enough to kind of accommodate everybody what they want to watch.
Mm-hmm.
You said that, Michael, you said yours was Loki's your number one and followed by Hawkeye.
Yeah.
For me, I love them. I love the What If series because it's an anthology. I'm hoping that one day we'll get a lot of the source material based What Ifs, because they had some great stories.
Mm-hmm.
But my favorite has been WandaVision. So WandaVision straight up, just because it felt like a long episode of Outer Limits, and I love the Outer Limits. So that's my favorite. Chris he's enjoyed all of them from what I can tell.
Oh man.
So,
it's all been very enjoyable. And to your point, everything has a central theme. I think now you're getting with Hawkeye. I think you're getting the understudy buddy cop, almost Shanghai Noon.
I'm getting Cop and a Half vibes, like the old movie with Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a little kid with him.
Or that. Yeah.
Or Last Action Hero. I'm getting like that type of vibe.
Yeah. Good point.
So, but I'm enjoying it. It's great. And
the worst part is having to wait a week for the next episode. I'm sorry, I just want to point that out. Like we're living in the instant now, and we're living in the universe now, and I hate that I have to wait. Hate it.
It's funny because we were groomed for the last 5 years. We've been groomed to, as soon as it hits Netflix or hits a streaming site, you could purge through it all. You could just burn through it all.
Mm-hmm.
Disney is making us wait episodically.
Mm-hmm.
Disney's the one that's doing it. They're taking us back to the Disney afternoon, and we have to wait each week for a new show, for a new episode. They're controlling the world.
It kind of builds up for the next episode. So everybody's talking about it, and they're so excited about they get built up for the next one, and then you watch it, then you build up for the next one.
Yeah.
Instead of just watching it all at once and getting it over with. And I think it to me it makes it a little more exciting. Like I said, it builds it up.
It definitely does.
Wait.
And there's merit to that, man. But I'm sorry. I just Anyway,
I'm just gonna say this: the Hawkeye is great. I'm loving Hawkeye, but my favorite part or cast or people of that show are the Tracksuit Mafia. I love them. They're so damn funny. The sad part is that I've worked with people like that who begin and end every sentence with the word "bro." No, bro, come over here, bro. Go buy this watch, bro. No, bro, you okay, bro? Yeah. I worked with people like that before, and so that hit a lot of like nostalgia for me or like memories for me. But they're done so funny. It's done. It's such a funny way. It's like, bro, you're on fire, bro. and it's hilarious. I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's
That's I can't get on board with that, man. Like I went to bro is a word that is saved for when you're putting the emphasis on something, bro. Like bro, did you see what happened? Not bro, I saw her around the corner. Let's go get her, bro. I'm gonna go get the OJ, bro. I want a mute stick, bro. Like what the? Shut up. Like that was the only thing I hated about that episode. I was like, I wanted to reach through the TV and punch all those guys in the face. I'm like, you're all awful, and I hate every last one of you.
Come on.
No.
Come on.
No prisoner, no quarter given. No. Bleh.
Oh, come on. They were entertaining. They were funny.
Awful.
They were funny.
Yeah, I got a kick out of them. Yeah.
See, even Michael likes them. See, Mikey likes
bro.
Mikey likes everything.
So what was your favorite part?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What was that again?
Chris, go ahead. Go ahead, Chris.
I just gotta get off the system, man. I have to, because one thing I've learned in the industry I work in is like when it comes to people looking for Pokemon cards.
Yeah,
that word is thrown around way too much. You got any Pokemon, bro? Look at the Pokemon, bro. And I don't know. It's just my personal preference. There, you know what? I got it on my system. Go ahead.
Got your system. So, Michael, so what was your favorite part of the series so far? We've heard my favorite. We've heard Chris's hatred for one part of it.
Ugh.
I like. I guess the first of it was pretty funny when she's trying to ring the bell, and it ends up falling apart behind her.
Yes,
I got a pretty good kick out of that. That was hilarious. She was just trying to ring the bell, and the whole thing broke down up behind her. So I think she tries too hard, and things fall apart while she's trying too hard on it. I think that's what I thought was pretty funny on that. And even her at the end showing up to rescue Hawkeye. She thinks she's rescuing Hawkeye, and he's got his own plan on how to get through that, and she kind of ruins his plan. So
that's true. That's funny.
That's true.
But
I do know that the internet or the reviews so far for this, the one thing that everybody has come together on a lot for the most part is Pizza Dog. He is the Grogu of this episode. He is the baby Groot. He is the mini Puff Marshmallow Man of.
He's a good boy.
And he's not.
He's a good dog.
It's not just a cute dog. He's a cute one-eyed dog. It makes you feel a little bit more sorry for him, but he loves his pizza, definitely. So
he loves the pizza.
The Sir McLaughlin song kept running through my head. I'm like, just get that dog off the street.
What's the one from Charmed? Who's the boss girl?
Alyssa Milano.
Yeah, is she gonna come up there and tell you to donate money on a weekly basis to save this dog and get him a cybernetic eye?
Cybernetic eye, dude. Cyberdog, yeah.
Cyberdog. Cyber pizza dog. But one thing I'll throw out there that I kind of was pointed out to reading a review is that the school that Kate Bishop goes to, or the tower that she knocks down, is the Obadiah Stane Tower. Okay. Obadiah Stane. We all know who played him.
Yeah.
We all know who played him. Well, she was in a movie with that actor in the True Grit remake.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Oh, she was the little girl in True Grit. Yeah.
She was in True Grit. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's the connection to the actor to Obadiah Stane to Kate Bishop.
Yeah.
It all comes back around.
That movie is so good, by the way.
And then they had coffee with Kevin Bacon to kind of form that degrees of Kevin Bacon thing.
Yeah.
They probably did. I don't know. But yeah, it was a good fun show. Yeah, 2 episodes in, I'm loving it.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying it. I'm glad to see that everybody else is. So, with that being said, let's kind of jump in. So, Michael, Toy Rewind podcast. I started listening to it. I got hooked on it whenever I saw that y'all did a Godzilla episode. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a big Godzilla fan. I'm a big Godzilla nerd, and then when I saw that episode, I jumped in on it. I I enjoyed it for the most part. The only thing that got me was whenever y'all were pronouncing the names. I'm like, no, that's not how you say it.
Yeah, we were. I know we were just butchering the names. I know that.
Yes.
And I apologize. I think I even apologized during the episode. I said, I know I'm saying this wrong. I'm sorry, but this is, so.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't.
It's
speak
pronounced
Japanese,
Hedora.
so,
It's pronounced Hedora. No,
Hedora. Yeah.
Hedora, the smog monster. It's pronounced, but no.
And then King Ghidorah comes out of the water and beats on the Gojira. Like, no.
But I listened to that, and then I think I put in the Cross the Streams media chat. I'm like, hey, listen to this, and I suggested, hey, have y'all done Inhumanoids? They're like, oh yeah, it's this episode, and I'm just like, let me go check it out. Checked it out, listened to it, and I've been following it. I'm like, I got to get this guy on our podcast. Dwayne is suggesting it too because toys, and we do a lot of toy talk on here as well because me and Chris are both collectors. So we wanted to bring you on, but I have to ask, what started the toy podcast? What was the beginnings of Toy Rewind?
We were, was it 2 years ago? Andrew, my youngest brother, he was living in Colorado. He had a job up there, so they were living in Colorado. And then John, the middle brother, he's not really of a collector or anything up until we got this started. Now he's starting to accumulate a few things. So we kind of enabled him to go that way. But he was living in San Antonio.
Okay.
And working down there. He was managing a restaurant down there. And so we had a late Christmas. It was like January, I think it was. So we were all just talking. I mean, we were just going back and forth because we hadn't seen each other in quite a while and hadn't really talked. We talked by text and stuff like that, but we hadn't really talked in person. And we're just going along. We're talking about all this kind of stuff that's happened the last few years, or the last year and a half or so that we really haven't been together. And I think Andrew said, we need to record this and just, and we said, no. And our wives all said, no, you don't need to record none of this stuff. So, and then fast forward a few months later, and Andrew is on the Dorksman, the Four Dorksman back then.
Yeah.
He gets invited. I don't know how he made the connections or anything, but he made the bingo squares for a lot of the podcasts and stuff that he was starting to get to know and everything. And I think he got through that because he followed Sully on Nerdfu podcasts and stuff like that. So and then he was on there and we got to talking again. Said, we were talking about recording stuff, several months back. I said, why don't we figure out something to talk about and we can do our own podcast? And we didn't think it would last long, but so we're going through different things. So we're all huge cartoon fans. Maybe we'll talk about cartoons. And I said, no, there's, and I got the research and there's some other podcasts that talk about cartoons and stuff like that, YouTube channels and stuff. And then we talk about, just general stuff. A lot of people talk about that. So no, we want something that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, what about vintage toys? And since then I've come across a few other channels that I've actually watched, YouTube channels that I watched to get some research stuff like Toy Galaxy. I'll give them a shout out. He's a pretty funny guy.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
And then a couple other guys. And I said, what about these toys that we grew up with? We can talk about this stuff and we can do a little bit of research and just talk, so that's what we did. He said, all right, we'll make a list of toy lines we want to talk about. And that night I sat down after we decided to do it. I sat down and I had, off the top of my head, I came up with about almost 100 lines.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
I sent that to him and Andrew says, well, we've already got 100 episodes already. So, so each episode is dedicated to a certain line, and we go through and do as much history as we can. We research, or I research because they call me the professor because I'm the one that does most of the research. They'll do a little bit.
Nice.
Andrew's the tech guy. He's a web developer, so he does all the behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, and puts it together, and he's more of a host. And everything, and then John's just there to put his input in here and there, and just say a few things here and there. He does our social. We give him the big socials where he says where to find us and everything.
Yeah.
And then and then I do all the research, and I come up with several pages of notes, and I go through those notes during that episode, and we've had some good feedback and stuff from that. And I'll be the first to tell you, I'm not much of a talker anyway, so the notes kind of help. And Andrew's the one that's more social than the other two of us, and it just comes natural to him. But yeah, it's been great, and it's been something that me and John and Andrew can all get together as brothers, and we've come up. Somebody referred to us as the Brothers Newland. And it's kind of stuck. So now every time we introduce ourselves, we're the Brothers Newlands from Toy Rewind. So
that's awesome.
But it's been fun. And like I said, we just did episode 65. And I kind of teased that, back in the 80s, you had to have 65 episodes to be syndicated. And we just hit syndication.
Oh, wow.
That's what I say. So it's
that's awesome.
But it's been fun because it's been, the three of us actually get together and spend some time together. Although we're not together, we do it on online and stuff.
Yeah.
But we're constantly talking every day, throwing out different things. And, I'm a big collector, diecast collector. I got several toy lines and stuff. Right now I'm looking right at some DC superheroes here.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
I remember those.
Superpowers, nice.
Yeah, the Superpowers lines. So I got a few of those here and there, but most of my collection is diecast. Now Andrew collects a lot of Funko and some other toy lines too. His big thing is Batman. He's a big Batman fan.
Okay.
And Turtles, Ninja Turtles. He likes them.
Oh man.
So he's that fan. I'm a Superman fan, and like I said, diecast, and so a lot of my extra collection stuff is Superman related type stuff. So but yeah, it's been pretty fun. It was just an idea that we came up with, and it kind of grew. I do a toy show every other month in the DFW area. The Dusty Attic Toy Show. And we've got a big sign, a Toy Rewind sign that I put up. So we just kind of branded us as Toy Rewind when we do there. We do a collector showcase where we talk about different type of collectors. We've had some guys on that talk about collecting shoes. We've talked about inbox collector. And we've got one coming up that's actually a loose collector. He's also a diecast friend of mine. So he's coming up next week. So be on the lookout. We do that live. We do that. I think we do it on our YouTube channel, but we also partner with Geek Together on their Twitch channel. They've got a pretty good fan base. So we kind of do there so we get more views that way. We also do every once in a while, it's been kind of slow for us doing this, but we do a toy box showcase as well, where we do openings or unboxing type stuff. We've had some mystery stuff. I've had a couple of my Transformers I've opened up and kind of showed those off. But yeah, we're just kind of, and we've got some other things coming up after the first year we're going to start doing too that we've got in the works. So we're just trying to grow the brand as well. So
as you do research and you're researching these toys from your childhood and everything, has there been an episode or a toy line that you've researched and that you've talked about that made you go back and start collecting them? Because I know that's a big deal with, like, you talk about the rabbit hole, you start looking at it, and it stays in the back of your mind. You're like, you know what, I kind of did like that, and it kind of did turn into, you know what, I really did like that. To I got to have it now.
Yeah.
So has it ever happened?
For me, I think I've always wanted to pick up the DC superpower lines, and I've always looked at them and said, no, I don't have room for them. Same way with I've always wanted to collect Star Wars figures. I just don't have room for them. Since you guys can see my picture behind me, this is just a quarter of my collection of diecast cars. The majority of it's Hot Wheels, and I've got a lot of high dollar rare pieces as well.
Okay.
But I did finally pick up some of these superpowers for our episode. Now I think that bug hit John the most because he wasn't a collector to start off with.
Yeah.
And now he's got a lot of Ghostbusters, Beetlejuice. We haven't talked about Beetlejuice yet, but he's gone and picked up a lot of vintage Beetlejuice toys. I actually, when we talked about Transformers, I had already had a few G1 Transformers, and I've gone back to picked up a few from there after talking about them then. And like I said, I got the Studio series, which I really like because it represents the figures from the movies that came out, the Michael Bay movies, which I really enjoyed. But I know a lot of people put them down. They do have their flaws and stuff, but I liked it. I'm more, when I go to see a movie, I like to be entertained. So I don't really look at the flaws too much. I just go to be entertained. And so, I mean, I like those, but I think my favorite one out of all of them is probably going to be, other than the very first one, is probably the Bumblebee, which wasn't a Michael Bay, but I really enjoyed that Bumblebee, kind of restarting things with that. But but yeah, I like those. I started collecting those Studio series after we did our episode there too. So
okay, the next question, because for a toy collector, this is a pretty pivotal question right now. Do you keep them in packaged or you let them breathe?
It's probably. I'm a set builder too. On my diecast Hot Wheel cars, I build the sets on Hot Wheels. Yeah. All the other brands, there's Auto World brand as well, which I'm almost completely complete on. Yeah. That started in 2013. I'm probably 90% complete with that, with everything they've come out since 2013. Okay. And then Hot Wheels, I try to put sets together. But I do have all the other brands. I do open up loose. Okay. Like right over here, I've got a bunch of that. I'll probably, and I've put more loose here lately, the past couple of years, than I have before. I'm probably 75% carded and 25% loose. That's probably where I'm at. Yeah,
that's pretty good. I know.
And the toy figures, they're all loose. My Transformers, I break them loose and so I can play with them. But yeah.
Okay. I think in my case, I've gotten to the point in my life where I know I'm going to collect them. Like I collect a lot of the horror NECAs. I collect a lot of those. I'll collect a lot of the Godzilla NECAs and other Godzilla toys and everything. And for me, it's if I know I'm never going to meet the actor playing this, or I'm not going to meet anybody who is part of this, I'll open it and display them. But if I know I'm going to meet the actor or someone part of this toy, I'm going to keep it in the box to get it autographed.
Yeah.
I've seen that. That's kind of been my thing a lot lately. And so, and with that, I have for collecting toys and everything, I have the very first Sam from Trick or Treat Pop toy. I have the very first one. And at the time when I bought it, I didn't think this was going to be short carded. I didn't think this Pop or this toy, this collectible was going to be pretty much looked over and tossed to the side because nobody knew that movie existed until the big face hit a few years ago. Yeah. Well, I bought it. I took it to a convention. I met the kid that played Sam. He autographed it. And when I got it autographed, I didn't even know that Pop was retired, that Pop was vaulted. I had no idea. So I'm posting the pic of that Pop of him autographing it. I'm like, hey, I got my Sam Pop autograph. Now it's like worth $25 now. Not thinking of that. And I get hit responses with people wanting to buy it now, offering this amount. And it keeps escalating to where I had to turn off comments for that picture because people were offering well over what I had no idea the amount was.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And as I'm researching, I'm like, oh crap, this was vaulted 2 years ago, but before I got the autograph. This is insane. This is crazy. Yeah. Wow. So it's because of that now. I'm just collecting autographs for my toys and everything.
Yeah.
But with a few of the other toys I have, I do take them out, and I do this. I'm going to take them out and I'm going to display them because I know that there's no chance I'll ever get these guys autographed. So this is personal collection. This is where they're going to go. So I'm like 50-50. Like behind me, I've got this NES Godzilla NECA there. That's increasingly hard to find. But he's out and his hand keeps falling off because he's NECA first gen. But I display it because, you know, he's one of my Lucy's. Yeah. So that's kind of where I go to.
A lot of my pop that I have, I've got still boxed, but eventually we're planning on something later on down the road next year or two, probably building a house, and it'll probably be more centered around our collection because my wife collects too. She's got her collection of. She's a huge ET fan, so she's got all this ET memorabilia, all the toys, all the 35th anniversary, 25th anniversary stuff that came out. She's got all that. She's got, you know, she collects Care Bears. She's got her. She's got Funko Pops as well. Yeah. She's a huge Doctor Strange fan and Groot and Grogu, all that kind of stuff she's got as well. So. She likes Star Wars, so she got a lot of Ewoks, stuff like that. So she's got her own, she's got her own collection as well. So so probably when we do that, that's what's probably going to be the house is going to be built around our collections. So
but so you said you collect Hot Wheels. You're in the Diecast. So I know my son collects Hot Wheels. He's a big Hot Wheels fanatic. He has tubs full of these cars that he plays with. So when did you start collecting Hot Wheels? Has that been like since your childhood, or
ever since I can remember? Every Christmas we've got stockings. Me, John, and Andrew, and you know, since the family's grown, even our wives and our kids are. I don't have kids, but John and Andrew's kids have got stockings too. But ever since I was little, as far as I can remember, I've always had Hot Wheels put in our stockings. And since then, I've always had tons and tons of Hot Wheels around. I spent a lot of time in the backyard playing with them, growing up, playing in the dirt with them and all that kind of stuff. And then probably when I got into, I guess, 92, I was in high school, probably my sophomore year in high school, whatever. I found one. I said, and I was a big baseball card collector. Through the late 80s, early 90s, and I enjoyed putting together sets. Like I said, I'm a set builder. So I enjoyed putting those baseball card sets together. And then when I got to looking at the Hot Wheels, I said, I remember these. And I was looking at it, and I said, that's got a number on it. And I looked at it, there's another number. Well, hey, I wonder if I can get all these numbers together. And back then, the Hot Wheels in 1989, they started out collector series, collector numbers, what they're called. So number one in 1989, all the way up to 1999, they just continued the numbering. And then in 2000, they just started over at one every year. But then I put a couple up, hung them on the wall, and then a little bit later, I found a few more and I hung them on the wall and I put them in number order. And because the same cars that I remember as 10 years ago when I was a kid, playing in the dirt. And I said, well, that's cool. I like these. It just reminds me of what I used to have, like all toys do. So and then it just kept growing from there. And I think I officially started collecting them like that in package probably in 92 is what what I remember. And so it just kind of, I'm a big card guy anyway. And then me and my wife started dating. She likes cars too. So she kind of helped me out on some things. She'd show up with something there, here and there and said, hey, look what I found you. And I said, all right, I'll add it to the wall. And it just kind of grew from there, you know?
That is pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So, hey, I mean, you got the support. You got that wife support. That's always a good plus to have that. That's always a plus to have if you're able to get it. So out of all your collecting for Hot Wheels, like what are some of your favorite individual cars that you have? Because they've done a lot. I'm not going to lie. In the last few years, I'll walk by the toy section or I'll walk by the end caps or whatever, and there will be a Hot Wheel that will catch my eye. I was getting car scratch remover for my car the other day or a few weeks ago, and I look over and there's a Hot Wheel package, but it's got Steamboat Willie, the Mickey Mouse Steamboat Willie boat in it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, what the hell? You know, that's completely random. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
I've seen the Simpsons, the Homer car as a Hot Wheel. I've seen there's a car that's a guy surfing. That's the car is the guy surfing.
Yeah, he's on a surfboard. Yeah.
Yeah, he's on a surfboard.
They have one that's a skateboard and one's a surfboard. Yeah.
Yeah, so like they'll do things that'll catch my attention. Like tonight, and I'm glad my son's asleep because it's going to be part of his stocking. But I found there's a Santa car that I found tonight where
Santa sled.
Santa's driving a snowmobile, souped up snowmobile. That's
cool.
Crazy.
It's like the rockin' Santa sled, I think is what it's called.
It's Rockin' Santa sled. Yeah, Rockin' Santa sled.
Rockin' Santa sled. Yeah.
Holiday
You're
racing.
dealing with a professional here, Aaron.
I'm sorry. Hey, I'm bowing down to the professional. He knows the Hot Wheels. So, what are some of your favorites that you have?
My favorite casting is the Rescue Ranger. Is one name. It started out called Emergency Squad. It started out in the mid 70s when it first came out. And it's been released millions of times since. Not millions, but hundreds of times since.
Yeah.
They have just changed the name to something else. I can't remember off the top of my head. But it's probably my favorite casting is that one. It's a fire truck.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really a fire truck. It's a truck with a fire utility bed on the back of it.
Yeah.
But I think that's my most favorite because I remember having several of those when I was a kid. You know, and then some of the others. I'm a big Chevy truck fan, so a lot of the Chevy trucks, the Silverados, and they have some. It's called Bywayman. Some of them's got a little. I got the one right here. It's got a little plow on it. So that's pretty cool. One right there. So yeah, that one, Bywayman's probably my next one. There's a Rambling Wrecker. I like it too. Most of them are trucks that are my favorite, but the cars, you know, some of the Corvettes. Trying to think some of, you know, I really like, you know, several years ago they started coming out with character cars.
Yeah.
And what they do is they make these cars look like characters from movies or TV shows or whatever. Yes. And I've got quite a bit of those. I'm missing a few from the Star Wars line of those. But I really like those too. So yeah, there's a bunch that I like, but like I said, my favorite's gonna be that Rescue Ranger.
Rescue Ranger. That's pretty cool.
Got one. Here's my closest one I got. Right there's that one.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool yellow truck. So I gotta ask, do you buy an extra Hot Wheel of the car that you're driving? So say like you're driving like a Silverado, certain color, see it out in the wild. Do you buy two of them, one to keep in pack and one to open?
On the Chevy trucks, like I said, I do buy two of those because I'll keep one with my set.
Mm-hmm.
So my carded set, and then I'll put a loose one up on my display here. So
okay, yeah. I asked that because like I try to match up what I'm driving as what I find like a diecast. Like there's one time I was driving a Ford Focus, the hatchback.
Yeah.
And Hot Wheels released the Ford Focus back in 2003 or 4. They did.
Yeah.
It was a black one with a fin. But Matchbox released a red one, and that was the color one I was driving.
Yeah.
So I bought that and I took it out and I had it actually in my car for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to find it because now we my wife drives it and I drove it for a while. A silver Subaru Forester. Yeah. Matchbox released a silver Subaru Forester that I had for a while. I don't know. I think Parker, my son, might have taken it and did something with it. But we had that. Now I drive a Pathfinder, but I haven't really been able to find like a Pathfinder diecast. They kind of go along with it.
Yeah, I don't know if there's one off the top of my head, what brand might have one. I'm sure there's one out there.
Yeah.
But Matchbox is really good at having real looking cars.
Yeah.
You know, Hot Wheels are more souped up, fantasy type cars as well. They've got more realistic cars here lately, more licensed cars.
Yeah.
But Matchbox is more into, had been more into the licensed car, which looked like the real car that you drive.
Yeah.
There's a couple other, like I said, Auto World is a big brand that I collect. they are true 1/64 scale. So they're going to have, like, you've got a Cadillac Eldorado, and then you'll have a Ford GT, which is in true life. It's like that size to the Eldorado. The Eldorado is twice as big, and
cool.
it really, if you look at those two castings in the Hot Wheel or Matchbox, they're going to be about the same size. You know, just a random 3-inch size is what they got. So the Auto World, I like them because they're a true to scale. So yeah, it's going to be, they're going to look, some cars are going to look bigger than what they would in the Hot Wheel line.
Okay.
So yeah.
Like, Chris, did you ever collect Hot Wheels?
You know what, man? I admittedly I never did, but but I will tell you, one of my most fondest, closest to my heart keepsake memories I've ever had as a child. We lived in we came from a meager start as a family.
Okay.
We lived in a small trailer at one point, and my parents, always did, like any good parents do the best they can for their kids to give them the best Christmas you possibly give them.
Yeah.
And I think I had asked for a fire truck because like when you watch movies growing up, you watch like Christmas Story and stuff like this. You always seen everybody get a big fire truck.
Yeah, the fire
I
truck.
wanted a big ass metal fire truck for my action figures. So when I set a building on fire out in the yard, I can have the fire truck come put out the fire. Apparently, my parents couldn't afford one. These were like Tonka or Ertl big metal trucks. Back then, a $15 truck is increased for inflation to $50 truck now, or whatever. So it's wasn't happening. But what they did get me though in my stocking, and I haven't saved as a search on my eBay because I'm looking for the right price, and I will buy it again to put it on the shelf with the rest of my toys. It is a Majorette fire truck.
Okay.
It's not necessarily a Hot Wheels scale. It's it's almost like a fire truck that would go good with Micro Machines. That makes sense.
It's a little bit smaller, yeah.
Yeah, and you would press you would like an action figure has squeeze legs to do an action. There's a little button you'd press underneath it, like you squeeze it. Yeah. And the light would go off. It'd go neener, 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 neener. And that thing right there, I took that thing everywhere, dude. And I remember the day I lost it. My parents took me, we were grocery shopping, and we went to a Sellers Brothers grocery store. And lost it there. And I cried for days and days and days. And at some point I got another toy and I forgot about it. And then one day I was sitting at home and they were showing Christmas commercials, and they showed a kid like playing with a fire truck, and like I just like a fucking ton of bricks just slapped me right across the head. I was like, whoa, and all these memories came back. I started on my phone and started searching. And the thing is, like, that freaking car, man, is like $30, $50, $60. Like, you gotta be kidding me.
Those majorettes can get a little high dollar from the 80s. Yeah,
but that's so. Admittedly, never really was a Hot Wheel guy. Now to that point, I do have like the Turtles van. I do have like the Flintstone car. Okay, I have a DeLorean. There's certain things like from pop culture, like cartoons or movies I loved. I at one point, numerous points in life, I've owned Ecto ones. I've owned some that were like regular plastic tires. I've owned some with rubber tires. Yeah. There's some nice, like, and I don't know if Hot Wheel does rubber tires or not. They might have a fancier version. How like action figures have.
I think those are called the treasure hunts.
Riders. Yeah, treasure hunts. You got your chase pieces or treasure hunts.
Yeah, the treasure hunts.
I saw a thing called Hot Wheel Elite at one point. Working in the industry I work in, people trade stuff in, and you get the Hot Wheel Elites, or they're bigger. They're like
they're 1/18th scale.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're nice. Like I've seen an '89 Batmobile from a Hot Wheel Elite, and it was just a beautiful car.
And it's pretty detailed. They're pretty detailed too. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't collect cars admittedly, but man, like every now and then, like I said, if I see a pop culture car, I'm like, oh shit! Like that's why I tell myself, if I say it to myself, then I'm okay to buy it.
Yeah, because I remember you found me the Turtle Van. I think you found me the Turtle Van Hot Wheel, and I found you the Steamboat Willie when I saw that. I'm like, dude, they got Mickey.
Awesome. I was pretty excited when I saw that one too, the Steamboat Willie.
And then I think I marked out the most whenever I saw the Warthog from Halo as Hot Wheel cars. But they had the different colors. They had different color Warthogs, like they had the orange and the black, and they had the green. So I'm like, oh, these are just so cool. These are cool. I have the black one and I have the orange one. I don't have the green one. I was never able to find the green one. But
what?
But talking about treasure hunts, this kicks off a story of a Hot Wheel collector. When I used to work at Walmart at the one in Pasadena, off Fairmont.
Oh God.
I was one of the people who unloaded the trucks. I was one of the people who would unload the trucks from the pallets, put them on the track, and put them down and take them out to the departments. Well, every night after 10 p.m., because we would be there until 1 a.m. After 10 p.m., we had this one guy show up, and this guy was redneck hillbilly, straight off of a Rob Zombie movie set.
Oh God.
Redneck. He had the typical redneck mustache where it went over his mouth and down the sides of his mouth, and everything else was shaved. Like
that Fu Manchu, man.
Kind of like a Fu Manchu, but he trimmed it like he had the Hogan mustache. And
gosh.
he always wore a camouflaged hat, and it looked like he had shaggy hair until he took his hat off and he was bald. So he had that horseshoe shaped bald line, and he had a big old cubic zirconia in his ear.
Oh.
And I say, okay, here's the reason why I say this. I'm 21, 22 at the time. This guy's in his mid 40s, his mid to late 40s.
Oh man, yeah. At a certain point, you let it go.
And he was a Hot Wheel collector, and he was one of those annoying Hot Wheel collectors. Because here's what he would do. And I was warned about him, but I didn't think anything of it. I'm a guy. I'm a nice person. I will go up there and talk to him, try to be friendly and professional with everybody. What this guy would do is that he would get a basket, and he would take all the Hot Wheels off the shelf, put them in a basket, wheel the baskets to the other side of Walmart, dump it there or leave it there, come back and tell us, hey, you need to bring more Hot Wheels out. You need to fill the shelf.
Oh my God.
And the manager overnight would see that, oh, it's empty. Oh, hey, go bring them out. So we bring out a box, you start putting them up, and this guy would take all the treasure hunts. He would take all the treasures out of there. But, fast forward a few hours later, we'd find the basket, wheel it back. We don't have room for it now because the peg holes are gone. So the department manager for the toy department made a dump bin. If you know what a dump bin is, that's those things where you walk down the aisle, you see this giant bin of everything dumped inside of it. That's where we dump the Hot Wheels. And that would piss him off because guess what would happen? The cards would get dinged and
the bin of death.
The
bin of death.
Oh man.
So here's my interaction with this guy. I come in one time and I see him doing what he's doing. So I get on the PA and I go, hey, security scan toys. Just to kind of shoo him off. Hopefully this will shoo him off. This pisses him off to where he sees me coming down the aisle and he starts verbally just cursing me out, calling me every name of the book, calling me anything you could think of, because he's upset that he is now not going to get his new toys. He's not going to get his Hot Wheels.
Fucking
and with his like, he doesn't have a Texas accent. He's got like a Georgia country accent. He's got that heavy, deep in the woods sticks country Georgia accent. And he's chewing me out and yelling at me from across the store about me calling security on him. And he makes more money in one day than I would in my entire life. And everything. Really aggressive. To the point where he's like, he takes his earring out and he throws it on the ground as a way of getting angry, takes his hat, throws it on the ground. So we see that giant bald head of his, reflecting in the light. And we have him escorted out, but he keeps coming back. He keeps coming back.
God, what a dipshit!
And that's how we found out. That's why he found out his earring was a cubic zirconia, because he took it to jewelry and they did a test to see if it was real or not, and it was fake.
That's awesome.
But this guy he would come in every night, and whenever he would see me, he would say, "Wow, you're going to call security on me again?" As he's coming in, he would do that.
Hell no, dude.
So
at a certain point, but you know what, man? I'm sorry. I'm getting mad for you. Go ahead.
No, it's going to get better. So a few weeks later, I have a friend that works at Toys R Us, and so this friend who works at Toys R Us worked at Walmart, but he quit and went to work for Toys R Us. And as we're talking back and forth, and this is Black Friday morning, probably 2004 or 5. This has to be around noon now. It's about noon. This guy comes walking in at Toys R Us. I'm like, what the hell? What is he doing here? Why is he here? And he sees me, and he sees the other guy, and he goes, "Oh, I guess you're going to call security on me here too, aren't you?" Starts making. I was like,
man.
and this is where I'm like, dude, I'm not even working. I'm gonna beat your ass.
So good.
A friend calms me down. He's like, no. He's like, dude, don't worry about it. We know about him. Just watch. Just watch. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, there's a reason why I called you to come up here today. Just watch. So I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. I'm waiting to beat this guy's ass. I'm ready to whoop his ass.
That's awesome.
Here's what happens. This guy disappears. This is like, again, before noon on Black Friday. This guy shows up and he disappears. We don't know where he's at. He's not down the Hot Wheel aisle where where you would find him.
Yeah.
Police show up. SWAT cars outside. They go to the back, where like employees only are at. This guy's digging through boxes in the back of Hot Wheel cars. And they catch him. And he's been warned not to do this. Yeah. He's been warned not to do this.
Fucking asshole. Good.
They wait for him to come out because now he has a basket full of the cars he wants. They wait for him to come out. Cops arrest him.
Good.
Because not only does he have the cars that he wants in his basket, but he's also wearing cargo pants. And he's got cars stuffed in his cargo pants from Toys R Us on Black Friday. Friday. Because they've got him on camera. Because they got him on camera doing this over and over and over. And I'm like, and so I'm seeing this. I'm like, did you know about this? He goes, yeah, that's why I called you up here.
That's awesome.
He's going down. He's going down. So police catch him. He's throwing a fit. He's trying to, fight the police and everything.
What?
And this, again, crowds watching him do this. This is total embarrassment. He's getting busted for stealing cars. And they got videos, surveillance, and videos of this guy stealing. They take him in and, take him down. He's gone. They take him away. Basket's still there. It's insane. So,
toy cars.
3 months later, I'm at work at Walmart again. He shows up. He comes in, and he sees me still there. Turns around, and walks back out the store. Doesn't say a word. He just turns around and walks back out. Leaves the store, and we never see him. We never see him again. We never see him again at that store. And I related the story to the managers there, what happened at Toys R Us. They called the managers at Toys R Us asking about this guy. They confirmed the story and everything because we eventually put him on our list of don't come into the store. If you see him, kick him out, escort him out. But yeah, he was a big treasure hunter fan, and he would leave baskets on the other side of Walmart when he would steal, or just not steal, but pile the cars up to get the ones he wanted for us to bring out a new box. Yeah, and it was insane. It was, he was a thorn in my side.
There's a lot of guys out there. No, most of us aren't like that, but there are a few that just make us look bad as Hot Wheel collectors. So,
it was because of him that whenever Hot Wheels would come off the truck, we would lock them in our back vault area. With all the other electronics until the night crew would put them on the shelves, or they decided if they put it on the shelves or not. Yeah. So it's because of him that we put Hot Wheels boxes of Hot Wheels
back there,
that we locked them up in the back with our electronics and other stuff too. So it was just insane.
So the Hot Wheels predated the headless LeBron figure of 2021.
Pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
Wow. What a sad existence, man. And that's the thing. Like, it's not just to your point, Michael. It's not just like Hot Wheel collectors. Man, we're talking about just collectors in general.
Yeah, there's a lot of pallet raiders, whatever you got.
Figure swapping.
Show up.
Figure swapping.
Yeah.
Ill. Yes. Absolutely ill. I never get to catch them. They're pretty slick. I mean, they take them home, they switch it out, and they come up to the front counter where the idiot working behind the counter doesn't know shit, can't look at a box to save their life, and just takes whatever they say and gives them a refund.
Refund it back. True. And they've got they do that with Hot Wheels too. They'll get multi-packs and with a good card in it, and they'll buy it and then they'll bring it back with some like little cheap little Tootsie cars or something in there, and they don't know any better at the desk. They said, "Oh yeah, we'll just refund the money." And then I'm looking at the pegs, and there's one that's it's just not even supposed to be there. So
sad existence.
Yeah, it's really crazy. It's really just it's an annoying thing with that. But that's really the only bad experience I've had with Hot Wheels, and basically with Hot Wheel collectors or car collectors. For the most part, because my son has a big interest in Hot Wheels and monster trucks and those cars things, when I meet fellow diecast car collectors out in the wild, they're very helpful. They're very informative. They help you out. If you're looking for something, they'll pop up on their phone and they'll do a search for you to help you out.
Mm-hmm.
For example, my son loves monster trucks. He's a big monster truck fanatic, but he also loves Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
But one of his monster trucks he loves is Gravedigger. He's a big Gravedigger fan.
Mm-hmm.
Loves Gravedigger. Well, they released a Gravedigger that has like muddy tires. I guess that's like an exclusive or something like that, or in a new edition.
Mm-hmm.
And he wanted that one. And I would go every time I check out my local Target or Walmart, they would never have it. Meet a collector in the wild. He seems to be looking. He goes, "Hey, what are you looking for?" I'm like, "Hey, I'm looking for this Gravedigger." He's like, "Oh, really? How much are you willing to pay?" I'm like, "Retail, maybe $1 or $2 extra. That's it. It's not that important." He's like, "You know what? Here's my card." And I gave him my business card because it's one of the few times I actually have a business card on me. I gave it to him.
Yeah.
2 days later, he gives me a call. "Hey, man, I found one for you. $5." I'm like,
"Oh wow,
sold." Yeah, exactly.
Oh, crap.
Met him up for lunch. Got me the car. Brought it home to my son. He loves it. You know, he's
Mm-hmm.
playing with it and everything. But that's an experience I have of meeting a diecast collector in the wild. You know, he was really cool about it.
That's awesome.
I forget his name. I don't have his card on me right now, but I forget his name. But super cool guy in the west side of Houston area. So really helpful. So I mean, yeah, there have been really good collectors of Hot Wheels in the wild that I've met, and there have been some bad ones.
Yeah.
But just a great, you know, it's a great thing. It's a great thing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's like any other kind of collectors. Yeah, you get those good and you get the bad ones in there. Yeah.
So it's a good fandom. So as we're kind of wrapping this episode down and we're kind of gonna get to a close, because of Hot Wheels, I have to ask: do you play Rocket League? Because that's a big deal now with the crossovers.
I do not. I do have the Rocket League cars. I've got some that have been released through Hot Wheels, but I don't. I've watched people play it like on Twitch and stuff. I've watched Sully play a few times, and it looks fun. I just don't have the time to sit down and do it. So,
fair question.
Maybe one day I will. I don't know.
Fair question, because they do have the Hot Wheels license and they have a few of the cars from there in there. Like Bone Crusher is one of them, and there's another one I forget too. That are in there, and it's a fun game. So I had to throw that out there just because it is kind of a crossover.
Yeah.
That people do seem to enjoy. So Michael, where can people find you? Where can people find the show? Start plugging away your stuff.
You can find me on all my social media, all that Twitter, and I'm not much on Twitter. It kind of confuses me sometimes. But Instagram and another place I'm on, Newland77 is my name. On Facebook, I'm just Michael Newland Jr. You can find me there. Toy Rewind. You can find us. We got a website, the Toy Rewind podcast.com. You can also find us on Cross the Streams Media. We've got a link to both of them on our page, and then Cross Streams, you can get to our webpage from there as well. All our episodes are on there. The Instagram and Twitter and even Twitch are all Toy Rewind Pod. And then our Facebook, we do have a Facebook group, and then we have our YouTube channel as well. We'll post up our episodes on there. Our collector showcases are on there. Our toy box showcases are on there, and then we're going to have some other content as well. We're going to start after the first of the year on there as well. It's Toy Rewind Podcast on there. I think there is a YouTube channel called Toy Rewind. But ours is Toy Rewind Podcast. So you can find us there. That's pretty much it. Like I said, I'm Newland77 is what my social media name is.
Awesome.
My brothers, if you want to get in touch with them, Andrew is New Beardland, and then John is Middle Newland.
So, Middle Newland.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So Andrew's got I guess he likes his beard, so he puts it right in the middle of his name. So he's a little obsessed with that. But yeah, we just, like I said, Cross the Stream Media, and then on Instagram and Twitter as well. So we're there.
That's awesome.
Chris, do some plugs for yourself, because you got some businesses that you need to plug.
Man, do I ever. Look, today was a big day for me, Black Friday, and some of you may know, some of you may not. The wife and I have our own little collectible store in Houston, Collectomania. It's on Instagram and Facebook. at Collectomania on Facebook and at Collectomania Comics on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing 25% off, man. Everything in the store all weekend, not just today. So it was been a busy day, and tomorrow being Small Business Saturday. Tonight I'm gonna be hitting up the social media, posting up some new stuff we're bringing in tomorrow. Just letting people know, hey, get out there and spend some money, man. Because apparently, I don't know if a lot of people know this. I don't know if you guys know this, but apparently, concerns for collectibles are a big thing with those ships being not being able to bring stuff in or whatever the hell's going on with that. I don't know the specifics, but eventually, big box stores are going to run out of shit, man. We're just getting started. This is Black Friday, so I mean, you know, at some point they're going to have to come to us, and then hey, you know, boom. But
that is very true.
Loving it, man. It's so to say I'm tired is an understatement, but it's well worth it to one, make a living, and two, help people out trying to find some cool stuff. Now, Michael, I'll tell you, man, like if you want to follow me on Facebook or whatever, we'll talk more. I mean, I've got Toy Stories for days.
I think we all do.
Yeah, and I would love to get more in depth with you guys if y'all do episodes on Turtles or you know. Again, I don't know if any of you guys are into wrestling or not, but
yeah, we've got me and Aaron were talking about. We've got WWF, the LJN line. We did an episode on that.
Oh, nice.
And I was telling him, I said most of my knowledge from wrestling is from the old cartoon from the 80s. With Hulk Hogan and Junkyard Dog and all them guys.
Man, I need to go back and watch those, dude.
Yeah, so but we did that. We did have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle episode. We did do that. We've done Star Wars line. Like I said, our last episode 65, was Army Men, the little green Army Men.
Oh, I remember those.
We did a whole episode on that.
Like the guys in the bag, like with all the.
No, Toy Story. Yeah, like Toy Story.
Like Toy Story.
Yeah, those underappreciated, man. Those guys don't unsung heroes of toys.
Everybody had those.
Teddy Rumpskin. I know we've even done some girl lines. We try to mix that in. Our wives kind of got onto us for so. In fact, our very first let's see, what episode was it? Episode 7 or 8? I think it's episode 8. We did Barbie, and we had our very first. Since it's me and my brothers together, our very first guest was our mom for our Barbie. So,
oh man, that's awesome.
That's cool.
She's got a story on there where when she was little, she got one of the very first Barbies that came out, and then she had her two brothers were younger than her, and they were twins. Yeah, and they were kind of upset. She was sick, and so she got this because she was sick, but they didn't get anything, and they ended up cooking her Barbie in the oven, and. Yeah, my mom wasn't too happy about that. So, but the whole story, you'll have to listen to that to get the whole story. But but yeah, we've done Furby and a couple of other oddball ones are we did Supernaturals and
man.
We've done like I said. 65 and every one of them's been a different toy line. We've got another 150 lined up for the next.
That's cool.
We've got like 3 years worth of content lined up.
Yeah.
So, and like I said earlier, we enjoy doing it together. The three of us, it kind of brought us closer together because when we first started, we were all in different areas, and now we're all. Andrew and John have moved back to this area, and we're all not too far from each other, but we still enjoy doing this and doing the collecting and stuff like that too.
That's cool.
That's fantastic, man. It's awesome.
Yeah. That's cool. Well, Michael, thank you for joining us. It's been a lot of fun.
I've enjoyed it. Yeah, it's been fun.
It's been a lot of fun to hear the origins of Toy Rewind, but also to hear it's really fun to talk to a fan when they're talking about what they love and what one of their favorite hobbies, because you get that raw emotional. That innocence that they just love that thing. And with Hot Wheels and cars, I had some when I was growing up, but I don't want to say I grew out of it, but because I wasn't driving, I just didn't get it. I didn't stay with that thing. Yeah. But to see my son get into it, and he's got the track sets, he's got the loops and everything. He loves it. He loves it. So, and he loves watching me play Rocket League. So that's why I also kind of asked the Rocket League question. So this was a fun episode. We'll probably have you back on again and talk more cars, more other things as well.
Like I said, it's always been Hot Wheels have always been part of my life for as long as I can remember. Growing up in the 80s, you had the shows. You had Dukes of Hazzard and A-Team and Knight Rider and all those that got the car was the big star of the show, and it's
the driving force of
Ghostbusters, and even the Batmobiles and stuff like that growing up. So.
We didn't even talk about like the celebrity, like the pop culture cars at all this time. Oh, but there'll always be a next time. There will definitely be a next time to where we will go off that, because we didn't even talk about Fast and Furious, and that's nothing but cars.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So
it's cars and family.
For cars and family.
Cars and family.
So again, thank you again for coming on. It was a lot of fun.
I've enjoyed it. It's been fun.
Yeah, it definitely has. So if you're still listening, you made it this far, give yourself a pat on the back, give yourself a self high five. You have made it again, and we're trying to stick with that format of not going over 2 hours. That we're staying under the 2 hour mark, because that has been a challenge for us. Because
we're doing it for you, the listener, and Dwayne, our editor.
Yeah, our Dwayne, the editor. Podfather is listening. So thank you again. And as we exit out,
this is Aaron from Front Row Negative. And if you like what you've just heard, check out CrossTheStreamsMedia.com, where not only can you listen to our show, but several other shows that are part of the Cross the Streams Media family. Such shows like Three Bears and a Mic, Dorksman, Secondary Heroes, Scott White's Dan Aykroyd Podcast, The Art of Boar Podcast, Burn Appetit, Beering Ain't Easy, the STS Guys Podcast, and Toy Rewind. Movie Gap is there as well, but thanks for listening, and check out Cross the Streams Media. Until next time.
Don't unfriend, just unfollow. Take a break, but always come back. Stay with that person. Life is too short. And with that being said, I'm Aaron.
And I am Old Saint Chris.
That is Chris. Okay. Thank you for listening. Have a good day, and we will be back eventually.
And eat the ponchos. That's where you cut it. Don't say anymore.
Fuck poncho.
I kept my eye on the face and got real from it. Master patience and free will from it. That's the real motivation. Some people kill for it. I keep reaching for greatness because I'm built from it. Here we go. Give it 100, never left the last. Here we go. We coming, you already know. Cross the streams.
This has been a Cross the Streams Media Podcast.